All right. So, hi, everybody. We are talking about the difference between the generic rounds, something like this right here, which is the American Precious Metals Exchange coin. You also have these right here, which I believe are the Morgans, if I'm not mistaken. These are going to be your generic rounds. And then we're going to be discussing the difference between the Eagles, which are going to be these right here, and also the Canadian Maple Leafs, which are the government minted coins. So we have a guest on the show, my mother-in-law actually. She's going to be asking some questions because she's kind of new to the silver market. And hopefully this will help some of you guys out there if you're new to investing in silver to get some of your questions answered as well. So let's get started. Donna, what kind of questions did you have?
Awesome. So I was just wondering, okay, this is a silver dollar, right? This one here?
Correct, yes.
So can I go into the supermarket, say, and just pay with this silver dollar?
You could.
But isn't this worth more than just a dollar?
That's the thing. So you wouldn't want to do that. So technically,
Okay.
if you went down to the grocery store right now, you could go and use that. That is legal tender. Same with the Canadian Maple Leafs. This has a face value of $5. But the thing is, these are actually valued much more than that. So the Eagles right now, I believe last time I checked, they're anywhere from $35 to $39 right now, depending on what kind of coin shop you go with, and also any kind of sales they might have. These right here are also going to be closer to $30 a coin from what I've noticed with the current spot price and the premiums. So these are going to be, once again, your government minted coins.
Okay, I might add to that too if I could. These are 999 silver, 0.999. These are 0.9999 silver. These are considered medical grade silver. So if you ever, if you're into like making colloidal silver or silver medicines or like that, these are more purified, but it's all silver. Okay, but these are a little more refined than the rest of the metals out there.
Wow. So these Canadian coins here, can you use these in the U.S.? No, right? Only in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
So-
right.
Only in
Canadian made
Canadian.
coins.
Okay, okay.
But they're worth more. I mean, you could go down to the pawn shop or your favorite coin store, your local coin shop, or you can send it back to the mint. Some mints buy them back. They have buyback plans.
Yeah.
And it'd be more. Instead of spending buying for $5, which those are stamped at, you can get at least spot. And I wouldn't go under spot.
When you say spot, now I don't know what
All
that
right, let's
term
explain.
means. So
Go
what's
ahead, Drew.
spot?
Yeah, so
Please
spot
explain.
price is basically where the metal trades at. So when you're looking at silver and gold, now there's always going to be a premium associated with spot price. So if you're looking at the price of gold, let's say it's trading at $1,700 an ounce, that's the live price of gold. Spot price, same thing.
Okay,
Same with
got you.
silver. Silver's trading at $21 an ounce. Now, here's the thing you have to keep in mind with the premiums. So as we were kind of talking about, these are going to have a higher premium. So when you go to sell them, you're actually going to get more for your coin. So if you go to sell an American Eagle right now, you're probably going to get maybe $5, $6, $7 over spot, maybe even more than that, depending on the
Wow.
coin shop you sell it to. Now these right here, this is what the one of the most common types of rounds you can get, just a generic silver round. And this is going to be your 1 ounce Troy Buffalo round, 0.999 silver. So if spot, let's say, is at 21 right now, I think last time I checked it was about $21 an ounce. You could probably buy this for about 25 to 26. So it's going to have a lower premium over spot. But when you go to sell the coin, you're also going to get less for it because of that. So you have a lower premium when you buy, but also you're going to get back less when you go to sell it. So
But at the end of the day, it's all silver. It's all on the periodic table. It's silver. You're just buying government stamped coins versus generic silver. And, really the deal is the generics, actually, if you ask me, because of the premium aspect. But some people know that they can, for liquidity purposes, they know they can take this government stamped coins and go down to anywhere. You can go to any foreign country and they're going to take this. Whereas you might have a little bit of trouble with those in certain areas unless they know the mint. Now that's where the mints come in, and you have various mints out there that are making these coins, and you have the Sunshine Mint. You have
Sunshine silver
Sunshine.
coin.
Okay. All right, Sunshine Mint. You have Money Metals on the right there. They're making their own generic silver rounds.
It's a generic
And they even have
coin.
fractional silver besides just the 1 ounce. So you can go different directions for smaller increments, if that's in your budget, you can do that. And you
Wow.
have what's it called? What's the other mint?
This one right here, I think this is a Morgan dollar, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I
okay.
bought this one online, and I believe these are Morgans. Not 100%
That's a
sure.
Morgan.
I'd
Yeah,
have to
it's a
look
Morgan.
at it.
Yeah, it's a Morgan.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So
Okay.
I have a quick question. I wonder why these are out of a case. Why are these out of the case?
Okay.
So
Well, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so these are actually, when I bought these, they just came in a tube, and so I just bought a bunch of random generic coins. And so you can do that. That's the cheapest way to do so in general. So you might go online and you might find something like this, which is the Buffalo coin. And it's going to be a random coin that they send you based upon what they have in their inventory. So you might get something like this, or you might get something like this. Now, generally what happens is when they send these coins, like you can, let's say, buy 10 or 20 of them at a time, and they'll send it to you in a tube instead of coming, in a casing like this. Like an eagle would, for example.
Like a bunch in a tube?
Yeah, so you get basically a big tube of them, and they'll all be stacked together. So they don't come in like containers; they just come in generic tubes.
Are
Another-
they worth?
Another aspect on that is, if you notice, there's a little bit of toning on
Yeah.
this coin right here. It's a 1982. It's been touched, or it's just over the years, the oxygen in the atmosphere tones them. Same way for this coin right here. It's got some really nice toning on it. It's not quite as silvery looking as the other ones, but it's silver. It's a coin I bought in the military, but it's aging, and when it ages, it tones. So that's why another reason why I keep them encapsulated. Plus, not touching them with your fingerprints.
Yeah.
When you touch these coins on the older coins, you really want to, if you pick them up, go like this on the rims or wear gloves.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a really good point. Or if you just want to keep them in the tubes as well, you can
Yeah,
do
exactly.
that. You just want to try
Keep
to
'em
avoid
pristine looking.
oxygen exposure.
For,
Yeah.
for liquidity purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, can you polish them though? And what can you use to polish them to get them back to shiny?
There's various polishes you can buy, Brasso, stuff like that, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
No,
No?
not coins. Mostly
not in
like
coins?
jewelry and
Okay.
like that. But mostly the coins, I don't.
You don't want to polish the coins.
I wouldn't-
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't
That's why
recommend
they
it.
kind
I
of
wouldn't
get.
recommend it.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, but the important thing to keep in mind, I think, especially if you're new to silver investing, is like
Mm-hmm.
you were saying, the rounds are going to be the better deal. These are great. I remember when these back in the day were going for about $16 a coin, and there was actually a coin shop down where I live that was selling these for just $1 over spot. And so times have actually changed quite drastically in terms of the premiums you're paying for silver.
Yeah.
Of course, the price of silver is higher than it was back then, but you're paying more over spot in general, even for the rounds. You're paying a decent amount more. That's just because of supply and demand and the way the silver market is now. But if you're a brand new investor, I would probably recommend going for the rounds. That's my personal opinion, just because it's more economical. So I mean, if you're looking at this, there's still both 1 ounce of silver. So it's the same amount of silver. It's just who mints them. Once again, this is the U.S. government, and this is just a generic round. But it's much more economical, especially if you're new to investing in silver, to just go with the basic rounds.
These are well known on international trading markets, same as these, and that's why the premium is there. Plus, the mint is not producing as many as they used to. They can't get planchets, the little
Plastic.
the
Covers?
the silver rounds to
Oh.
stamp their logo on like this.
Oh.
They're required to buy it at spot, which is around $21 at this juncture. But they are selling for 38. So the premium is killing them, and they're not stamping them, and they can't make them. They're required to sell to get it at spot, and they can't buy silver at spot. Everybody's selling. Well, you got to, you buy silver from me. If I'm going to cut you off, 30 tons of silver, I'm going to put a premium on top of that. I'm not going to sell it to you at what the market is. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. Because they got to keep the lights on. They got to pay their employees at least $20 an hour, because everybody wants $20 an hour.
Yeah.
All right. And you got delivery. So you got this diesel shortage now. You got to have all that going to the coin shops. And coin shops got to have keep the same situation. He's got to keep his lights on. That's why there's a premium. You go to the store, buy a loaf of bread. They buy it from the local
Wherever.
bakery, and they buy it at a certain thing, and they mark it up.
Yeah.
It's the same principle.
Okay,
Okay,
got you.
okay.
So now the $1,000,000 question, where can I buy these coins from?
So yeah, there's a variety of places. You can go down to your local coin shop. There's actually one right down the street called the Gold Exchange. I've been down there before. They're very fair. There's also Eagle Coin. We
Eagle
went to
Coin.
the other day. And these are just examples of local coin shops.
Yeah.
Now online, there's websites like Bullion. .com, and you can also go to moneymetals.com, which is
Okay.
they're both reputable gold and silver
Okay.
Yeah, the
dealers.
Better Business Bureau rated guys.
Okay.
Yep.
And they have very fair prices. And a lot of times, what
Great.
I've noticed on some of these websites is they'll have what's called flash sales. SD Bullion actually just had a flash sale on. We don't have them in front of us here, but they're the 10-ounce bars. And so they had a deal where they were going for
Excuse me.
about $2 to $3 over spot, I think it was. And so they had these sales where originally you might be paying $6 or $7 over spot, but in a lot of cases you can get those flash sales if you go online, and you can get really good deals on your silver coins. So
Okay. Well, thank you. That was very interesting.
yeah,
I learned a lot.
Any other questions for the audience, or because I'm sure they're learning some too if you know they're new
Yeah,
to silver.
right, right.
Yeah, a lot of people worry about the dollar, the stock market, the devaluation of our currency versus
Yeah.
this new BRICS thing that China, Russia, India, all those guys are getting into, and it's like a gold-backed currency. A lot of people are looking at metals and switching their thinking about, oh, is my 401k okay? 401k going to be okay, or is my pension,
Yeah.
what's it going to be like when I do actually hit that age where I'm not able to work no more and retire? So, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
And
Good question. What do you do? So is the better investment coins?
Well, that's a great question. So, when it comes to coins, the one thing you have to keep in mind is that there's no counterparty risk. And when I say counterparty risk, what I mean is when you buy a stock, you have a brokerage account. Well, that brokerage could go bankrupt, right? And so then you have to ask, is your money insured? There is, some protections in place and stuff like that. But when you have metals in your hand, you own them. And so
Tangible assets.
tangible assets, and so there's really nothing that is at risk in terms of somebody else, going bankrupt or somebody else not able to pay because they're in your hand. Now,
Yeah.
of course, when you have metals in your hand, the other risk you have to consider is, what happens if somebody breaks into your house or your house burns down. There's different things, obviously, but the main thing to consider is that with metals, like versus a traditional investment in the stock market or even real estate or anything like that, if you're taking out a loan, there's always that counterparty risk associated with that versus, physical metals in your hand. So,
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, makes
Right.
sense. Okay.
The basic old adage is if you can't touch it, you don't own it. So you don't want to keep it, if you don't want to keep it in a vault, unless you're just a gazillionaire and you're buying kilos of gold or silver, and it would not be feasible to keep it in your house,
Yeah.
that's the only time I would go vault. But other than that, if you're just like us, you just the guys that's considering, okay, we got a few extra bucks, we're going to go buy a Silver Eagle this weekend, okay? We're out and we're supplementing and putting our hard-earned money into silver. And, it's just, right now, the market's looking promising because there's so many different aspects for silver going on out there, i.e. batteries. Okay, you've got, elaborate on that.
Solar panels, there's a ton of stuff. Industrial demand is skyrocketing is the main point.
Jewelry,
Wow.
jewelry's
Jewelry.
picking up.
Yeah.
Medicine, like I mentioned before, this is these Canadian coins are medical grade 9999 pure. So that's what they use as back in the day. They still use it, I think. It was when the little babies are born, they use silver nitrate in their eyes to keep them from getting infected. So
Oh.
silver's been around for quite a while as
Wow.
far as the medical purposes, and even our ancestors back in the day before they headed out west for the big run out to California, they would purchase and budget for a silver dollar, and they would take that silver dollar and put it into their milk jug, and it would keep the milk fresh for their journey west.
No way.
Yes, for the
Oh,
antibiotic.
wow.
And so with silver, it's a monetary asset. So it's historically, of course, before we came off the gold standard, you used to be able to go into a bank and exchange it for silver or vice versa. It was redeemable for silver or
Exactly.
gold. But
I've got one of those, and I'll bring it out next time.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, next video.
Yeah,
we make,
next video.
I'll show the people what a silver certificate looks like.
Yeah, my
good
grandpa
idea.
had one of those too, and it's pretty
Yeah.
cool because it says bearable to or payable to the bearer on demand versus our current notes, which say Federal Reserve notes.
So you used to be able to go to the
legal for all
bank and pick
debts.
up one of these for
Wow.
a buck.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the good old days, right?
but silver has both industrial demand and it has the monetary aspect of it, which has historically been used as money, even going back to biblical times. Of course, silver and gold have always been real money
Yes.
for thousands of years, and so it's really interesting seeing this convergence with the industrial demand skyrocketing, and then you also have silver as a monetary safe haven asset that people like to put their money into when they feel uncertain about the dollar. So, in my personal opinion, silver could do very well over the coming years. Now, how long that takes is another question, but I've seen people throw out price targets of $100 silver all the way up to $500 silver. I think Robert Kiyosaki, we were watching a video about that earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying $500 silver.
Wow.
He was.
So, yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, well, yeah. I think I asked all my questions. I don't know. There might be one more if we don't shut it down
Well,
now.
there is. We're at the 16-minute mark, but I want to throw one more thing in there. There is
Okay.
other stuff out there. It's called junk silver, and that's like back in 1964 and back, back into the 50s and 40s and 30s and 20s. They did coin coins in 90% silver, and that's junk silver. You can still buy that, and they seem to think for fractional silver, that's what I would buy. I have purchased that also, and if we ever had to go to a barter system, that would be a good thing to have. So if you had small miniature, denominations of, like, say, dimes and quarters, if you say you need to buy a loaf of bread for it, you trade somebody a dime for it. Or if you had to buy a gallon of gas, give somebody a couple quarters. Or if
Yeah.
if you need something more like a couple gallons of gas, give them a 50-cent piece. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be it's out there now. I've seen it. Colorado's got some, and I've come across it myself, just being out there with people and talking silver. And they said, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'd trade you silver. I would trade you silver." So junk silver is another way. A lot of people shy away from it because there are a lot of premiums attached to buying it now because it's going away. And they quit making it, and they've melted a lot of them down for the silver. So it's going away. So I think it's probably have what they call a numismatic value plus the silver value. So it's got like a double-edged sword there. So, that's something you might want to consider too if you're thinking about doing metals.
And what's that called again?
Junk silver.
Junk.
Or there's another term for it, constitutional silver.
Constitutional, and it's 90%.
90%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you were saying, they don't make it anymore, so there's that supply demand
Exactly.
aspect of it. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
it
So
could do
it
very
could be
well.
a lot more.
That's why
than,
people are. Well, that's
one
why
of
people are
these?
buying this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, they're buying the pure bullion instead of the old junk silver.
Oh, wow.
But
Because
it's
the pure bullion coins, they still make these on the regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, these are minted all
Oh, yeah.
the time. And these are, like I said, probably the best way to get invested if you're new, just because it's the simplest, the cheapest, the most affordable over spot. You're going to be paying lower premiums for the rounds. But junk silver, like he was saying, I think has a lot of potential just because they've stopped making it. And, of course, there's that numismatic. I can't.
numismatic.
Numismatic. But, yep, that's it.
The coin value. Some coins are worth more than the silver value because of their rarity
Yeah.
and their collectability. So you have that aspect of buying. You come across a silver dime in your change. Well, you used to do that, not too much anymore. I used to come across silver dimes and quarters, and some of those are pretty valuable. I was really surprised. Actually, I found this silver right here. This is a proof, and it was in my change. I used to work at a little retail store, and this little kid brought this in one day and wanted to buy some candy with it.
Oh,
And
wow.
he stole it from, or something. He got into somebody's treasury, and this is a West Point proof coin right here that I got
wow.
for $1. I got that
No
for
way.
$1. So
Jeez.
that was in the change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
amazing.
proof coins, they just stamp. All right, these regular coins, they stamp them once. The proof coins, they stamp them at least twice to make them more mirror finished, looking prettier, more polished looking. And that's another thing about collectible coins. All right, so that's one of the aspects of numismatic coin collecting. There is a difference.
Wow.
And this is West Point mint, whereas most of the coins, there's the Philadelphia mint, the Denver mint, the San Francisco mint, and then the West Point mint that are still in operation today. Okay, So those are the major ones. Besides these mints. So we're talking money metals,
This is the money metals round.
Yeah, money metals.
So there's the standard money metals round once again.
Yep.
And it kind of has the same design as you can see, like this one, but it's privately minted. So this is from the U.S. government, and this is from a private mint here. So.
Exactly. Yep. Any other questions? We're at the
I'm good.
20-minute mark.
Any other
Good.
questions?
I think I'm.
Okay, in
Okay.
closing, thank you all for watching, and hope we've earned your subscription today.
Yeah.
Give us a thumbs up at least, and stay tuned. We will have some more information out there, and we're stacking, so you should be doing that too.
Much more information coming on silver, gold, platinum, palladium, all the precious metal content you can imagine. So if you guys like those topics, definitely hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much.